Cornwall Pride 2022. Last week we've spoken about launching Cornwall Pride 22 with 11 different towns, which is really exciting. We're already having conversations. We're having a Pride, not ourselves, but a group are looking at a Pride in the Isles of Scilly, which is incredible.
Do you know what? We always forget about the Isles of Scilly, don't we? Say as a county, it's always Cornwall and the Isles of Scilly.
How do we reach over? So absolutely incredible to have those, start having those conversations. But officially, we have launched Cornwall Pride 2022 across all of Cornwall, and there's a Pride coming to a town near you. And we've got some really incredible guests with Marie Ralph from Youth Art Connect and Elliot Kenton from Transparence Presence coming in today as well to talk about their experiences, to talking about National Autism Awareness Day tomorrow and what Pride means to them. So it's been a bit of a journey for the last 15 years. We're 15 years old. It's 50 years of Pride in the UK. So yeah, really, really excited. And actually, I want to say a massive thank you from the LGBTQ plus community and from a Cornwall Pride perspective for all the support Chaos has given over the last 2 years, kind of really holding hands, nurturing and mentoring us as an organisation with our volunteers and with all of the other organisations in and around us that we've been able to influence and support and actually highlight the challenges that the LGBTQ plus community have within society today, from mental well-being to employment challenges and discrimination as a whole.
Yeah, and that's fab, isn't it? Because I know Chaos, we bang on about this, but it's all about the community, everything community.
Yeah.
But I guess the LGB... Oh, I've got tongue-tied. I can't talk today. LGBTQ plus, thank you, is in there somewhere. Community is something we've always really struggled to connect with, not because we haven't got the skills, but I guess we're not maybe got the pathways and the connection. So by working with Cornwall Pride and people like yourself, it's enabled us to kind of bring a bit of chaos to your community, but then also, you know, likewise work together to kind of achieve some huge things, and you guys kind of tap into some of the work we've been doing. So it's really exciting to kind of almost step back and look at what Cornwall Pride are going to be doing for the next 5 years, because you've got, it's really exciting stuff on the table.
Yeah, absolutely. We have just been funded by the National Lottery. This is hot off the press to be able to deliver community prides across the whole of Cornwall. So there is a 5-year project plan, match funding, for us to be able to do this with our existing community and our existing partners. So it's astonishing, actually, for Cornwall and for the community. And when we think about Pride, it's not just for the LGBTQ plus community, it's for all marginalised groups, and actually it's for the community of the town to be able to come together, raise awareness. And there's that celebrationary part, but there's also those conversations of actually how we can be better for ourselves, how we can look at ourselves, the wellness, the mental health, the sports, climate, all of those intersectionalities, all those conversations that we're having, how we can put that into the real life and have those conversations with people on a day-to-day basis and network with all communities and not individual.
Yeah, well, great news for Pride and for everybody in the southwest. I was silly. I love that.
We've got a video and we've got a crowdfunder as well. So if you've got an opportunity, please do. We're bringing prides to the different towns in Cornwall, but actually there's the infrastructure, there's the support element, but Pride's about the communities and the communities coming together and being able to bring to life what that means for you on that stage and within your community. So you'll be able to find it. It's crowdfunder.co.uk/Cornwall-Pride. We've got a video, and you have to put up with my voice for a little bit longer because that's on there too.
Let's take a look.
Cornwall Pride is coming to a town and the city of Cornwall near you. It's been a tough couple of years, and for many of us, it's still really difficult. So we're bringing Pride to Falmouth with a lot more excitement for 2022. It's the 50th anniversary of Pride in the UK. But that's because there's so much work still left to do. It's the 15th anniversary of Cornwall Pride. We're having Pride in Newquay. We're now a charity, and we build on the success of the last 15 years as a shining beacon of visibility and awareness of the LGBTQ plus communities, and stand in solidarity with all marginalised communities across the whole of Cornwall. To have Pride in Penzance. However, we recognise that whilst visibility is important, it will take much more to make our duchy a better place for the LGBTQ plus communities and marginalised people to grow up, live and work in our beautiful Cornwall. So Pride in Saltash! We are looking for your support so we can facilitate all of our communities and organisations within each town to celebrate, raise awareness and support the LGBTQ plus communities and all marginalised groups as we stand in solidarity. Pride in St Ives, alongside with Cornwall Pride, creating and sustaining peer-to-peer mental wellbeing, social support and organisational and educational training. With you, we will bring to life the success of Cornwall Pride in Truro. Truro Pride's coming back, and Newquay, and the bus tour to 9 more towns in Cornwall by bringing pride in communities. How amazing will it be to have pride in your town? Viewed pride. Growing up in Cornwall isn't always the easiest. It's even harder for being in the LGBTQ plus community and other marginalised communities. So let's come together, Camborne Pride, and celebrate our differences, standing in solidarity and making a voice, standing there, showing your true self. Cornwall Pride's values are love who you want to love, St Austell Pride, and be who you want to be. With our incredible volunteers working tirelessly, connecting our communities together, your town can bring life to your communities through the celebration and awareness of Pride. Bodmin Pride. So let's do this together. Let's make a change and bring Pride and our communities together. Again, it's been a tough couple of years, and we've got this because by working together, we can create change. Was that Pride in Redroof? How amazing! With your help, we will make Prides happen in a town near you. Cornwall Pride's values are love who you want to love, be who you want to be. With your support, thank you, and see you there.
How exciting is that?
Literally shivers. like looking at that going, oh my god, it's going to all the different towns, and then all the communities and all the love. I think that's one of the things that we totally forget about Pride sometimes on a yearly basis, is how it connects people under that very simple message. And you've heard me say it so many times, but love who you want to love and be who you want to be, because it really is that. And that the incredible man the incredible person that has just come out from the Conservative Party this morning.
Tory Party.
To say that they are trans.
Yeah.
And phenomenal. And that the story and the challenges that person's gone through in their life is actually representative to a lot of people within the LGBTQ plus community. Obviously, the bigger challenge is that person's in the public eye, but those smaller scales and that nervousness and that almost internalised shame as well, where you can't be yourself. And that's what we're fighting. And it's not just the laws have happened and the rates are there. That's great, but that doesn't change society. And that's the conversation of what Pride means.
It's great. I mean, once again, 2022 is going to be one of your biggest years, will be your biggest year. So we wish you all the best with that. And we'll be along for the ride. We're on it. Look, I'm going to step out now because you've got some really exciting guests coming up. You've got just over half an hour to get them all in and have a nice chat. So I'm going to leave you to it. So
thank you.
Over to you, sir.
So thank you very, very much, Nathan. And again, the Chaos Group. We have Marie Ralph, founder of Youth Art Connect, and Elliot Kenton, who's one of the directors of Transparent Presence with me. Hello, both.
Hi. Hello.
Oh, fantastic. Thank you so much for joining me and joining Cornwall Pride Show this afternoon. Did you watch the video?
Yes. Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah,
I think it's great.
So for Elliot, what does Pride mean to you?
Oh my goodness. To me, Pride means bringing communities together, and as the Pride motto says, just being who you want to be out in the real world. And I think that's what Pride has done for me. And
Marie, what for yourself?
Well, pretty much the same. I think it says it all in the slogan, really, doesn't it? obviously I'm a neurodivergent person, but also identify as pansexual. So for somebody, to just be out there and not have to try and explain yourself, or, they're just getting better understanding all the time. So what you're doing with Pride is just making everyone a lot more aware and accepting.
And what's been your journeys, both of you? So we've seen Cornwall Pride over the last 15 years do its thing, and obviously it was in Truro to start with. It moved over to Newquay 5 years ago, and we're looking at creating this celebration and awareness across the different towns, some different towns in Cornwall. What's been your journey on what Pride's done? Elliot, I realised that I didn't have both of you in front of me. I was just like, oh yeah.
So do you mean what Pride has done for me personally?
Yeah. So you've seen it, and kind of what's it meant for the transparent presence as well?
Well, I mean, I first started transitioning from female to male approximately 2018, and for me, Pride has meant that I can feel more accepted as my true self out in society, and Pride events are an amazing place to really explore who you are and connect with other individuals who are like-minded. And I think that's a really powerful thing, to be in a safe place as well, with so many other individuals who have maybe similar journeys to you, and you can connect and feel that you're not so isolated, which I think is really important in Cornwall particularly.
Marie, you've got an incredible story from Pride, from not only from yourself but from your family.
Well, just you mean in general terms? Yeah. I mean, my son has struggled with his own identity for many years, but the whole community of meeting up with you guys, and the work that I do, I run a youth art project. So, we collaboratively worked with you guys last year, which was amazing. And we want to do more of that. So, I think, we obviously originally met a few years ago at an awards ceremony, didn't we? But yeah, I think the work that you've been doing has really opened up, not just for my child, but for a lot of the young people that we work with. It's been a really good place that we can refer people to and give them more information, so that when they're coming through our groups, we feel that we've got a lot more connections there with people that are going to understand and be able to support them, whether they're transitioning, whether they're just wondering about their own sexuality or their gender identity. I think it's been a really, really positive collaboration to be working with you guys.
Thank you, Marie. And kind of from that Pride and from where we are today, tell us, yes, Elliot, about Transparent Presence. Who are you and what do you do?
Okay, so Transparent Presence is a community interest company, and we were founded approximately 3 years ago. So initially, when I started to transition, I was kind of looking for some support in the community, a group that felt aligned to where I was mentally and where my journey was taking me. But unfortunately, I couldn't find something that really matched what I was experiencing and what I needed at the time. So Transparent Presence was founded for that reason by myself and my wife. And so since then, we have met as a support group with other trans and non-binary individuals once a month in kind of the St Austell area, but we've also expanded that to, say, meeting on a beach for a picnic when restrictions were in place during the pandemic, and trying to run more online support as well through messaging and email services for individuals who might be struggling or isolating. And
What's it meant for
yeah.
those individuals? So, obviously, COVID was a real challenge for so many communities, and we live in such an isolated area. And there's many conversations where I was speaking to someone only yesterday, where they kind of feel like, well, I might be the only gay person in my town, or the only trans person in my town, or village, really. What's it meant to have that connection?
Well, I mean, the feedback from people who keep coming back throughout the whole 3 years that we've been established has been that they just feel more connected, and they're able to, through our conversations about transitioning or life in general or Netflix movies, it doesn't matter what the conversations are. They're just able to feel like it's okay to be themselves out and about in real life, and they're able to explore things that they might be worried about, and we're able to signpost to other organisations as appropriate for them. So yeah, I think it's just meant that that trans and non-binary individuals who come to our group and more recently our choir just feel less isolated, and that actually they're not alone, even in Cornwall, even in their small town, and it is okay to be who they want to be.
We'll come back about the choir in a second. Marie, tell us about Youth Art Connect.
Okay, so Youth Art Connect came about last year in the pandemic. One of our founding directors, a lovely guy called Graham Cullis, who's an artist, was in a pretty bad place a few years ago mentally, and he stumbled across art while he was in Bali, of all places, and it really helped him get out of that black hole. So when he got caught up in the pandemic, he got stuck over here before he could go back to Bali. He and a lovely lady called Kate Evans, who runs a sort of holistic studio in Newquay, decided to just run a one-off sort of art pop-up event in Newquay, and it was inundated. The vibe there was absolutely incredible. I went along and absolutely fell in love with what they were doing, and I'd been looking to set something quite similar up as an artist. So we all got together and dragged in a lovely lady called Siobhan as well, Siobhan Taylor, and the three of us had a lot of meetings on the beach and in the pub, and and just sat together and worked out how we could reach out to young people through the medium of art. All of us had found a lot of sort of solace and therapy in doing different art forms. So we thought, well, it's been an absolutely incredible thing for my son, who's autistic with Tourette's, and it's helped his mental health no end. So we decided to start running regular groups and pop-up events, and we became quite well known for what we call the Splat Art Tent. So that's mainly what people come after us for. So it's basically a space where you can get all Jackson Pollock and you can throw paint at each other, and preferably at canvas, and just come up with your own creations. And it's a really sensory experience. It's really, a really good way to get anger and frustration, or just get really creative. And it's started snowballing to the point that we're now being commissioned by the likes of Action for Children, and we're about to just start providing a pre-cam service. So for those waiting to see the mental health services, they will come to us on a sort of 5-week block booking where we will do some sort of targeted work around their mental health, using different art forms. So it's took off very, very quickly, and obviously we're working with you guys this year. We've worked with some disability groups, and we work very closely with the neurodivergent population. A lot of our young people, I would say, are either, on the neurodivergent spectrum or on the LGBTQ plus spectrum, and quite a lot combined. So it's exciting. It's going very, very quickly. And it's growing very, very quickly. They now want us to start running this across Cornwall, not just in Newquay, which is brilliant. But we've just got to get some more volunteers and that in, really, to do that.
Oh no, actually, that sounds so exciting and so incredible. And kind of thinking about the creative support for well-being, why does that impact people the way that it does?
I think because it's such a it's a sensory process, isn't it? You know, and a lot of our emotions are sort of targeted from our sensory systems. A lot of people don't understand. I suppose as an autistic person, I'm really a lot more aware of sensory experiences and the impact it can have on your emotions. So we use that for my son because he was in quite a bad place mentally and with his mental health. And it changed his life. He's 15. He's now running his own art studio. He sells his own art commissions. He's selling both paintings and jewellery worldwide. And it's been a it's a space where you can just go and forget about everything. A lot of the young people we work with are struggling to engage with services like CAMS because a lot of it is talking therapies, you know, things like CBT and, you know, it's all about talking about their problems, and not every young person is ready to do that or wants to do that. So we give them a space where, you know, they can just come and do art and they can switch off. If they've had a bad week, they can talk to us about that week. And we then help signpost them onto other services like Young People Cornwall, Action for Children, yourselves, you know, Yay Project, things like that. So anything that we feel would be appropriate for those young people, we've got a really good platform where they don't feel under pressure. They don't feel that somebody's asking them 1,001 questions about, well, why did you do this, or why are you behaving that way, or it's just, you know, how was your week, what have you been up to, you know, do you want to talk? So we're giving them a really blank space to express themselves creatively but also emotionally, and I think those two things work hand in hand really well. It's a really good way for someone to, you know, and also get a sense of achievement. I think a lot of the young people that are coming to us have suffered with very low self-esteem, predominantly through the school system where everything is based on a one-size-fits-all model. And, you know, probably because they've been struggling in other areas, they felt useless. They felt they're not achieving. So for them to come into our groups and go, I can't do art, I can't do this, I can't draw, I can't. That's all we hear when we first get them in. It's I can't do this, I can't do that. But very quickly they find that they can do, and they find their own way, they find their own style, and go, oh, actually, I'm really proud of that. And to hear that time and time again from a lot of our young people is just incredible.
It's fantastic. Honestly, the work that you do and the people and the connections. I'm fortunate to be able to see some of the work that you're doing in C Space as well, and the spaces in and around Newquay, and the extension with is in Cornwall. So excited. I'm just going to kind of go back to one of Cornwall Pride's aims is kind of aiming towards zero discrimination in Cornwall. What has life been like for being yourself in Cornwall? So, Elliot, what's been like living in Cornwall?
Okay, so
in a holistic way.
I mean, generally speaking, I enjoy living in Cornwall. I think it's a beautiful place, and I don't feel that I need to move away from the region in order to be my true self. I'm unashamedly my true self every day, and actually I think that's really important, and I think that's kind of the message we try to portray through the group we run as well, is that actually you shouldn't have to mitigate yourself for other people if you're not doing any harm by expressing your gender identity, if, for example, in the way I dress, because I kind of define myself as trans masculine, but maybe swaying somewhere between trans and non-binary. So sometimes my gender expression is somewhere between masculine and feminine, and actually, I don't feel like that's a bad thing. I'm not hurting anyone by doing that. So if I feel happy in what I'm wearing, if I feel that I'm quite a creative person, I like to express myself creatively through what I wear, and that's okay, actually. And ordinarily in Cornwall, majority of comments are positive. so if you're expressing yourself creatively through the way you dress, for example, or the way you colour your hair or whatever it is, generally speaking, yeah, okay, some people are not sure how to respond to someone who presents themselves as a bit different. But equally, I think there's just a curiosity there. And some people shy away from that. But actually, some people will just come over and say, hey, I really like what you're wearing. Oh, hey, I really like the way you've done your nails today, or whatever. Like, my profession is a teacher, so I'm very much like in front of people, in front of young people all the time. And I would go to work in a mainstream secondary school with my nails painted. And so, yeah, you have to call me sir. But yeah, I like to paint my nails sometimes. And actually, who cares? It doesn't hurt anyone.
No, absolutely.
So
and it's
generally
yours. It's yourself,
speaking,
isn't it? It's yourself, and it's your expression of yourself, which is the most important part about everything that we're talking about, and why Pride exists, with sexuality and gender expression of who you are. Marie, what's it been like for you?
I've been here 27 years. I've still not lost my accent, but and I couldn't live anywhere else. I love the community of Cornwall. I think overall the Cornish are very accepting of difference in some areas. I have come across not just from a disability perspective, I suppose, from quite an ableist perspective, my son has very severe Tourette syndrome. So we've come across a lot of negative attitude towards his, his tics. He has very vocal tics. And some people get quite threatening, to be honest. So we've had that, but then we've had that in other places as well. So I think that just comes with the territory of that condition. But in terms of, just being who you want to be, I would say predominantly I haven't had major negative attitudes. Over the years, I've had a lot of varied styles because, again, I think like Elliot was saying, I was exploring myself for years, trying to work out where I fit. The concept of pansexuality was, in terms of what people were speaking about, and for years I was like, well, do I want to be a boy, do I want to be a girl? I don't really know. I felt I was worrying too much about labelling myself and not just being myself. So what if one day, I had a bald shaved head for years, and so what if I want to do that but wear a dress? But what if I want to dress in more masculine clothes one day, or I want to put makeup on one day? So I think it was that thing, like Elliot was saying again, about the non-binary thing. I've been allowed to express myself, but I felt quite repressed for a lot of years here. I think if you'd have been somewhere like London or Birmingham, I think that style would have been a little bit more socially acceptable. But I think it's getting better. I think people down here, I am seeing people with really brilliant styles coming out and just being themselves, and people aren't batting an eyelid as much as they used to. So I think it's been a bit of a roller.
Oh, just going to... signals just going then a second ago. I was going to come back to you, Marie.
Oh, no worries.
just on a question, because it's National Autism Awareness Day tomorrow, and
it is, yes.
Marie, you shared a bit of a particular stat with me only just a couple of days ago, around the link between the LGBTQ plus community and the community with the autism community. Is it all right for you to share that with us so we can discuss that?
Yeah, we're asking for more research to be done into this, because statistically, I think the figure's something about nearly 70% we're finding of, particularly around the trans community, that they are also neurodivergent. And I'm on a lot of worldwide neurodivergent, also run a couple of nationally and internationally, and it's really, really interesting. And it's been flagging up with me for some time now that maybe it's because neurodivergents tend not to look at everything in a black and white, everything's just basic. Everything is just, why would I look at genitals when I'm choosing a partner? I think people are getting a lot more open with the neurodivergent community. And I think they're expressing themselves and realising that, they don't have to tie themselves down to one particular label. I don't know what it is, but I'm finding that we're coming across a lot of young people who are struggling mentally for the dual aspect of coping with being neurodiverse and coping with being trans. So, we're seeing a lot of that. I don't know what the connection is. I don't know whether it is just because...
Elliot, I was going to say, did you want to come in?
Yeah, sure. So a lot of what Maria is saying is really resonating with both my personal experiences and also the experiences of lots of individuals who come to us for support. So I'm also neurodivergent, and I'm okay with that. Which I think is important to say as well. Yeah. When it's Autism Acceptance Tomorrow, I think it is important for the neurotypical population to have more understanding of what it means to be neurodivergent and how that can lead to a person seeing the world in a different way, and have different experience of the world, as Maria was saying about sensory experiences and just the way we view ourselves, our identities, the way we view the world around us, how we connect with people socially, and that's different. It's not wrong and it's not bad. It's not. I don't classify myself as disabled. I just see myself as different in how I view things. So yeah, as Maria was saying, I can definitely connect with how she talks about the link between the LGBTQ and particularly trans community and neurodivergence, because I think there is, in that different way of thinking, there's definitely that different connection with both your gender identity and how you choose a partner. And I think there is, maybe I'm boasting by saying that maybe there's more openness there.
But that's it. That's kind of it, isn't it? That there is that ability of being able to see difference for what it is, and difference is beautiful. That's the point. Is actually the more different things you are, the more opportunities you have to talk about different things and learn from someone else and explore someone else. Because kind of we always think, oh, let's go explore the world and go see the different beauties of the world. Well, actually, arguably, and the universe, actually, no, definitely, being able to explore someone else's mind and the way that they think is as impressive and as exciting as seeing the Grand Canyon or seeing the Taj Mahal, or it's that epiphanies that you're able to build those connections with someone, enjoy those spaces with someone. And do you know what, if you're doing it with the same person, it might be a little bit not saying that doesn't, but it could be a little bit boring. But if you're exploring that with more and more people and learning different things, it's just incredible. I'm going to ask a couple of things because it's going to get us ready for our next segment, which I'm going to prep you for right now. Okay, so I'm going to give you 5 seconds or less than that to say one word, okay, because we're going to go into something called queering, okay, which is a very quick fire 15 questions, and you're going to answer the questions. They're very, very simple. Like, I'm not going to, do you like the winter or summer, that type of stuff. Right, so ready? So I'm going to go Elliot and then Marie. What does pride mean for you, Elliot?
Connection. Marie?
Beauty.
Fantastic. And we're just going to come back right after Cornwall Pride's charity single with Benji Matthews, the Love Song Anthem.
I just want you to recognize me if we ever see each other again. I don't know your name yet, but your smile tells me that this could be something great. Or am I just dreaming, 'cause you've got me seeing a future to believe in. And baby, I'm just thinking, I don't know if it's true, but you're saying all the right things, making magic as a DJ spins. It's the kind of song that I wanna fall in love to. It's cool, so stay with me till morning, making magic as a DJ spins. It's the kind of song that I wanna fall in love to. Ooh. Trapped in your eyes, you're mesmerizing. There's no place that I would rather be than here by your side, kissing sweat from your cheek, together lost in this beat. Or am I just dreaming? 'Cause you've got me seeing the future to believe in. Oh baby, I'm just thinking, I don't know if it's true, but you're saying all the right things, making magic as a DJ spins. It's the kind of song that I wanna fall in love to. It's cool, so stay with me till morning, making magic as a DJ spins. It's the kind of song that I wanna fall in love to. Ooh.
We're getting a replay. That's amazing. Okay, are you ready? So the segment is called Queering. It's going to work a little bit differently because there's two of you. But what we're going to do is we're going to go Elliot, then Marie, Marie, then Elliot, Elliot, then Marie, Marie, then Elliot. Okay? It's got to be really, really quick fire. You are now prepped. Okay? Are you ready? 100%.
Maybe.
Okay. I always get a sweat on after this. But okay, so what did I say? Marie, Elliot, then Marie. Okay, so Elliot, your favourite place in the world?
Cornwall.
Marie.
Carcassonne.
Oh, what's your favourite food, Marie?
Oh, pizza.
Elliot.
Mashed potato.
North Coast or South Coast? Elliot.
South.
Marie.
North.
Of course. Marie, who's the most amazing person you've ever met?
Apart from you, Matthew.
Oh, bless you.
Oh, God. I can't think. There's too many.
Elliot, come in.
I'm lost.
My wife.
Oh, okay.
Oh, he's lovely.
Elliot, dog or cat?
A dog.
Marie.
Dog.
Marie, early riser or night owl?
Oh, I'm a bit of both. I'll go with early riser.
Elliot?
No, night owl.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Elliot, tea or coffee?
Coffee.
Marie?
Tea.
Oh, my goodness. Marie, worst subject at school?
PE.
Elliot?
Probably maths.
Oh, carb. Oh, okay. Elliot, what's your biggest phobia?
Wasps.
Marie?
Ticks.
Oh, ooh, okay. Actually, what's your favourite subject at school? There we go. That's a better one.
Oh, favourite subject, English.
Oh, that's cute. I was rubbish at that.
Probably art.
Okay. Okay. You ready for this one? Elliot, what 3 things would you take with you on a melting ice cap?
A melting ice cap.
Come on, you've got to be quicker than this. Marie, come on.
What?
Marie?
That's a hard one.
I've knocked you off.
A wetsuit.
Yeah.
A flask of coffee, and and
Anything? Like anything to feed the penguins or...
oh,
I don't know.
Well,
Marie?
I was going to say my dog, but that's
Okay.
not very helpful.
Doesn't need to be helpful. You just need to enjoy the views, maybe.
Oh, well, if I'm going to enjoy the view, I'd probably go with an inflatable unicorn. That might be quite nice to sort of float around on. I haven't got a clue. Maybe somebody to take with me. That'd be quite nice, so as it's not lonely.
Yeah.
And I don't know, what do you feed penguins? A fish?
And maybe a tape measure to understand how quickly it's moving so we can stop this climate challenge. Okay, number 12. Favourite human, full stop, ever? Marie?
Oh, me. Favourite human ever? Probably my children.
Elliot?
Both of them.
Oh, I'm sorry, it's my wife again. I'm smushy.
Oh, I love this. Summer or winter, Elliot?
Winter, actually.
Ooh, Marie. Summer or winter?
Yeah.
Winter.
Would you rather, Marie, snuggle an ivy leaf, a pencil, or a sock?
A sock.
Elliot, would you rather snuggle a acorn, a wheelbarrow, or an umbrella?
Snuggle.
Snuggle.
What? An acorn.
Wheelbarrow or an umbrella?
Well, I might be able to get in a wheelbarrow, so I'll choose the wheelbarrow.
And
That's a good one.
lastly, what's the one thing you have in your fridge at all times? Elliot.
Not a lot right now. Cheese.
Marie? Oh, it's
We
got to be
always have
cheese.
cheese.
Yeah, you always have cheese. I know you always have cheese. Marie?
Vegan mayo.
Oh, fantastic. Both, thank you so much for joining me today and on the Cornwall Pride show. Cornwall Pride is on 2022, starts May 7th in Falmouth and continues to Redroof on July 23rd. It's every Saturday, minus the most important Queen's birthday, which is June 4th, obviously. That's it for this week. A huge thank you to Marie and Elliot, and hopefully see you in a couple of weeks' time. And we have Nathan back.
Thank you. Lovely to
Thank
meet
you so
Elliot.
much.
Thanks,
You
love
too.
Oh, lovely guests.
Oh.
Lovely guests. What's in your fridge that you can't live without? That's going to stick with me now, that question.
What's in my fridge that I can... Chorizo.
Oh, posh at your house, isn't it?
Hey, look, grown up with it. I always have to have, I'm not going to say the other word, what it would be called, because it would be slightly whatever. But I always have, chorizo.
Okay, yeah, that's
I
nice.
literally, I pretty much every day will have a slice of chorizo.
Every day?
Almost every
wow,
day.
okay.
Yeah.
It's like pepperami. I'm joking.
No, it's a much better Spanish version of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the real thing.
Yes.
Hey, look, thank you for that. Another great show. You'll be back in a few weeks' time?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
He's like, I don't know.
I don't know.
What's going
I don't know
on?
what the plan is.
When's your first Pride?
It's May 7th in Falmouth.
May
And then
7th.
the next one is in Newquay, May 14th. Following Penzance, May 21st. Saltash, May 28th. St Ives, June 8th. Hang on.
I'm sure you can go to the Cornwall Pride social.
Yeah, cornwallpride.org will have it
there you go.
all on there. It actually has the list. And also, please do support us on our crowdfunder, because every element as a charity supports your community within your town. Celebrate Pride, but also look at all the other supports that we'll be launching, because the single that Benji Matthews has launched with the Love Anthem is there to support Cornwall Pride's mental health programs.
Yeah, love that. Matthew, thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of your week. We'll catch up with you real soon.